Okay, so I just want to prove that boyfriend hovering can be done consistently, but it is still the jankiest trick in the game, and I know how to go almost balloonless. So what I have here is a video of me getting it 3 times in a row, which admittedly, this was my third take. The first time it worked, but I had some recording issues. So boyfriend different is different than any hovering in the game because the longer he's in the air, the more likely his momentum is to get messed up. And every time that happens, you just have to pray that something goes right. So what you want to do with boyfriend hovering is a lot of stuff. And you have to you have to have backups because things will go wrong. The first step is to dance or get a tether and dance, and then start mashing jump up, and you can get him off the ground and moving in a direction you want him to. Generally, you're going to want to start with 2 cardinal directions to get him moving, and don't ask me why, but it just is more consistent to get him moving in that direction. Now, what I do here in this particular crow sequence, falling down is not abnormal, but hovering through the whole rest of it is totally. And you'll see on the last run here how I recommend you do this last part where you're doing the cog skip, because hovering up there is particularly difficult for no reason. So back to what it is. You're gonna want to start jump, mash and jump, and indicate the direction you want to go, and then keep going for as far as you can until you hit a section where you need to go straight up, in which case you'll see generally I'm going to try and get a tether there. But here's the thing. He starts behaving as a normal object if you release the jump, but still not quite. And if he's moving in the air and you start dancing, you two, both of you, are basically going to move towards each other. So it can result in a lot of spinning out. Sort of like that. And there's a lot of stuff where he gets stuck. I wanted to show me getting not ideal attempts because it happens a lot. And even still, you're looking at about a 150 for this section, even if things go very wrong. The only time that you're going to see like a really serious problem is if you die in the final crow room before you get the first checkpoint or get the only checkpoint. Because if you weren't aware, the crow will always get to the 3rd spawn point before you do. And you can wait, but it just causes a lot of issues with the rest of it. Because getting yourself to stop before that crow part is really hard with the hover, because getting specific momentum is pretty hard. You basically just have to rely on hitting a wall to stop. So I get caught everywhere. It's just once you're on the ground, you have to know how to get the launch sequence. And then you're basically good. And if you die there, if you die past the 2nd checkpoint, it's really easy to get off of that. So this is one of the worst attempts that I had here, and it's still around a 150, which is only about 5 seconds slower than past in the world record. Not to say that his was flawless either, but I would say that with a perfect hover, you're looking at about a 15-second time save over a non-perfect hover. And so this was my 3rd and final attempt. This was probably my best beyond this first part here. So if you're going to only look at one, I recommend looking at the end of the video from here on out. You'll see normal stuff. I start not dancing there, and you can get him across the room pretty smoothly. That's marginally faster. It's more of a... I'm just used to hovering at this point, and so now I do it. This is what I'm saying here. Also, the other trick to get him to web is you have to, once he's on a web, you have to make sure that you hit him and not the web, because it will severely screw up his momentum again. And webbing boyfriend is the hardest part. Well, one of the top 3 hardest parts of boyfriend hovering. So this is another room where it's not as important, but I'm running out of things to talk about. There's only 30 seconds left in the video. I've seen the bird go through that pipe. Now I'm just getting off topic. Same thing. Like, if I had died there, it would have been a huge issue. And generally, you've seen I don't hover up here. But this is what I recommend here. Instead of just trying to get the hover there, lay a string and just, you basically jump up. You jump up with him, and then you jump up again, and you're up there, and it's more consistent. So hopefully I've explained something about boyfriend hovering. And if you have any other questions, just let me know. And I'll not talk about it because I lost my voice because of boyfriend hovering.